Hey, Dan Larimer, whatever you do, never ever come to the
Hey,
pirate
so this
podcast,
motherfucker
right?
right here, this guy, Dan, this guy, he's on drugs.
Dan, it would be great to have you on Discord talking with us. Take some time when you feel for it and just drop in anytime.
This is P-Funk, and I'd love to hear Dan come on Voices of the Underground Pirate Podcast Radio and do an interview with Sir Lunch the host and Beans and maybe even Sea Blue.
Yeah, I would love to hear Dan, come on the VOTU podcast, with Sir Lunch the host and Beans, and have a discussion about Steem and share his opinions and views about everything.
If we were to guarantee a more serious platform, then I could recommend it. Now, I wouldn't recommend him coming.
All right.
Come
You
on,
guys-
I think Dan has a sense of humor.
Now the Sorry Pirate King has to come out. Now, we could have the serious discussion, right? Before I ask him the serious questions, I want to ask him the human questions. How is your day? What do you like to do throughout the day? So I can get to know Dan. And then once I ask those questions, when I ask him the serious questions, I won't sound like a Tone Vase type of asshole
Yeah, that's
guy,
fine.
right?
Normal
So-
interviewers do that as well. But
Yeah,
it's just
so-
way
okay.
to go about things. No,
Did
I
we
wouldn't.
not ask serious questions? Did we not get to some serious shit here? Did we not? I'm gonna just say.
Yes. But as I
think
said,
we.
the overall way that things operate, if you did it a different way, then I'd
Okay.
recommend Dan.
Watch this. Dan,
Anyway,
he's high on drugs right now. He wants you to come. Don't worry. And even if he doesn't, still come grace us because we want to see you.
whenever you want to step off the blockchain, just for a minute.
We know you're a wizard of the blockchain, but we'd like to talk to you. And thank you, though, Colonel, for being honest, because that's what I love you for.
Whatever he wants to do, people would love to hear from him wherever he goes. He doesn't have to worry about a thing, but he'd have to evaluate where he's going to speak, and if he'd evaluate VOTU's past audios, well, I don't think he'd be too
That's nice.
non coming
Colonel.
here. That's what
very
I'm
nice.
talking about.
Well, okay, I could see what Colonel's talking about on some hand, but we have had some good interviews with P-Funk, some serious shit. So maybe it's just been that Colonel hasn't updated himself with our more recent podcasts, which sound awesome, and he's only going off the podcast number 1, which that's okay, Colonel. The less informed usually say less informed things. Let me say the questions that I will ask Dan if he does hear this. I'm going to ask you, are you a level 70 wizard? Do you know how to do lightning bolt? Do you like anime? And if you do, what anime? Do you put your left sock on first or your right? Do you like to go to coffee shops or tea houses? And do you like to take baths or showers? So it's just to get to know the person, right? I just want to ask if he's a level 70 wizard and if he plays Dungeons and Dragons, and if that's what inspired him to do his vision. Oh, and no, I asked Ned to battle rap. I got to ask Dan to battle rap too. So I'm going to ask him to battle rap. So Dan, if you do the interview, we're going to battle rap. Ned, if you listen to this, still looking for that battle rap. You know what I mean? Welcome everyone to the VOTU podcast. I am your host, Sir Lunch.
And I'm Beans. And so, Lunch the host, have you checked the Steam price today?
Not since the last time we argued about it, because obviously every time it goes lower, I just don't like you as much.
It's at 9 cents right now.
All right, so if it goes lower than that, then definitely gonna break up with you, because our whole premise is built up off of Steem. So if Steem is if it fails, then yeah, we fail. So just gonna throw that out there.
So we have the album up for sale on the website, but so Lunch the host, do you still have the login for that website?
Okay, what she's getting at, guys, is that I lost the password to our website. And she's throwing that shit in my face. We're just gonna get on with this
Seriously,
this
though.
thing.
Steam just dropped
All
to
right.
8 cents.
Uh,
You gonna find that password?
You're not gonna let me live that shit down, babe. All right. I don't even when you say do we have access to the back end, I'm thinking, do we have access to somebody's anus? So if you're making a joke, Ray, I got it. It was pretty funny. Ha ha ha. You said but. So with that being said, if it drops any lower though, Beans, we're invested in this together, but if it's not gonna go anywhere, we're done. Gifted
Fine by
guy,
me.
are you looking for a partner? You're muted, so you can't even say no. So yes, you are, gifted guy. Thank you.
Seriously though, the price is 5 cents.
5 cents for your album?
Okay, fuck the price of Steam. Yes, it's low, but we're gonna stick
You know
in
what?
there,
We'll take the 5 cents if you're willing.
right? if you're willing. P-Funk, how do you go about being a witness? Are you out there trying to get as much steam as you can? The same question goes for you, Colonel, and Bitcoin. Are you guys out there trying to get as much steam, or what is your guys' prerogative, right? And we'll start with Bitcoin.
Well, more so I do it now. It kind of changed. I did it because I enjoyed Steem and Steam it, but now I do it because I built a following and there's a community. They kind of matter to me, and it's not to just abandon and to gaining more Steem. I do it trading. I don't really power up my account yet. I'm waiting. As far as looking at the charts, waiting for the right time to buy and sell. And
so you got like a Lilo and Stitch type of thing going on, like Ohana Mohana Hana means no one gets left behind. Yeah, I'm fucking with that. I like that.
I like the picture that P-Funk linked. Can we like who are those people?
Well, obviously, I'm the guy on the left, second to the left, and then I think P-Funk is the one on the far left. No.
Oh wait. P-Funk is the lady? Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'm
See, I wasn't gonna say it out loud. But yeah, you're Lady P-Funk.
Well, this is a podcast. It's audio, so you can have
looks like a perfect outline of Beans. I mean, come on.
I don't know. Beans looks pretty manly to me. I've seen it. She looks like the guy
I have
on the far right.
I have
she looks like Batman. Now, with that being said, P-Funk, why are you witness? Like, what gets you up in the morning after masturbating and saying, you know what, it's time to be a witness? What gets you past that hump of humping yourself and then passing the hump of being a witness when steam is low?
Oh, well, the motivation definitely started in a profit sense way back when I was mining it. But I do enjoy Steem. I mean, I enjoy posting. Well, I haven't done it in a while, but I enjoy browsing Steem, it, voting, commenting. I enjoy contributing back, both in knowledge, experience, and, just being helpful. And I mean, as the price has fallen, it's become less and less about the money. And basically, I'm cashing out to cover expenses at this point and nothing more. I basically just like Steem,
So you're not trying to save any African children? No, feed the children and shit?
No. I mean, yeah, I don't necessarily believe in turning Steem into a charity platform.
So wait a minute. You're not for supporting the poor kids in Africa? Or let me say, Eche? Come on, P-Funk.
Indonesia. Oh my God, Steven is full of Indonesian poor people. Aceh, whatever it is. I don't know.
That's not charity.
Those shout out to my niggas in Aceh. Yeah, doing the photos and shit. Shout out to y'all. Y'all doing it real big out there. You know what I'm saying? P-Funk don't want to acknowledge it, but I will. See, I jumped in front of you.
You're right, but it's not charity because that stuff's worth upvoting.
Exactly.
But they should get some more votes.
Exactly. They're not asking for votes just for votes. They're contributing to Steem in an actually cool and unique way. That kind of thing, I think, is one of the best aspects of Steem, where Steem is enabling cryptocurrency over the global internet for people in less fortunate economies to actually contribute and participate in sort of a economic idea or economic information sharing system.
I think Kurt just called you a jagoff, which means jack off. I think he just called you a jack off. What's a jack off, Kurt? I see it. No, I see it. It says cough, jag off, cough, cough. Oh, so why is Ray a jack off? What's going on down there, guys? Like, shit's getting weird. Can I say that I would like to see more not safe for work content on the trading page? Just gonna throw that out there. And let's get some more not safe for work and art. I love art.
Not safe for work could be art.
Yeah, it's like kind of like that picture we were talking about where if you painted like a scenery of grass and stuff and you had two people who looked like grass and they were doing it and it looked like they're waving, then it would just look like, a scene. I'm not going to get into that because this can get very weird. Now.
Oh, first again. Okay, you're right.
God damn it, first again. Why, first again? Why? I was just about to say first again. It's your turn. I know, not safe for work is like, God damn it, first again.
First again for what? You like NSFW. Content for ladies.
Yeah, content only for ladies, not for dudes, unless you're homosexual. Which you don't have a problem with that here.
For men at work.
Yeah, So, all right, first again, I'm going to unmute you. Your question is going to be, how much do you get paid to be a witness? After you answer that question, Shut the fuck up.
I don't get paid to be a witness. I pay to be a witness. It costs me money every month to run my witness.
What?
Oh yeah, of course. The money you get from being a witness doesn't cover the cost of running the node.
Well, the price of Steem is so low that I'm basically running a witness for free for Steem, and I'm sharing my rewards with projects like Steem Chart. Maybe if the price of Steem at some point gets high enough, we can use those rewards for something serious. But at the moment, it just cost me money to run my witness, and I have nothing left for it.
But you're in the top 50 now for witnesses, right? So what price would the Steem price have to be to cover the costs of just your node on your own, not the other stuff that you support?
I don't know, to be honest. I have stopped looking at the day-to-day price. I don't really care about the dollar sign that everybody else is looking for. I'm accumulating Steem. I'm hoarding Steem on the exchanges. I'm buying the dips. I'm mining it. I'm curating. I'm writing. I'm doing everything that I can to get my hands on as much Steem as I possibly can, because that is what is going to be worth something. That dollar amount is it is the wrong perspective in my eyes. When I started with Bitcoin, I was hoarding Bitcoin. I bought thousands and thousands of Bitcoins because they were going to be worth something someday. I didn't look at the dollar amount. I kept it closed for many years and got to sell a few years ago and got to reinvest in great real estate. So I have the same perspective on Steem, except I don't look at Steem just as another crypto project, but I'm invested as a project that is for the internet of everything and for the future of super apps.
So would it be terrible of me to ask you, how much did you actually invest in Steem?
On my account, you can see I've invested about $80,000. That is now worth $25,000. So I have some losses there publicly, and what is not public, I guess I keep to myself.
Fair enough. All right, Beans.
Actually, it's a question for nearly everybody, but I have a feeling that Dan might have a good answer for it. So if anyone wants to put their hand up to answer, please do. Otherwise, I'm going to ask Dan. But my question is, regardless of what Steem power you have, what do you think we can do within the community to pull people back together and sort of, I don't know, diminish this toxic sort of feuds that's going on between people?
Okay, well, I guess I will. It's just a matter of everybody focusing on what, other than on what everybody else is doing.
Who is Solange? Are you unmuting and muting Dan?
Okay, I'm done.
Are you giving me the strobe effect? Is that you're strobing me right now?
Yeah, you're good though. Go ahead.
All right. Oh shit! What was the question?
What's the best way to rebuild the community? Because there's been a lot of breakdown recently. There's just feuds, arguments, and the fucking Steem price, man. The Steem price.
Well, you know, I think if the Steem price went down to the point where it was worth like 0.0001 cent, then what you would have is every single person on here would only be doing stuff for the social interaction. I mean, there would literally be no financial incentive. And for the first time, maybe it would actually function like a regular social media platform. Now, I don't think it'll have to go down to that point where money means nothing and it's really just a point system. But worst case scenario is it does go down to the place where Steem is just a point system with really no real world value for a while until it starts to look like a social network. And then when it starts to build up like that, all of a sudden, a bunch of people will be pleasantly surprised that they can cash in their points. But I'm not really worried about this at all. I think worrying about it just makes it worse. I mean, that's the obvious.
That's very true.
The thing.
I agree with that. Do you notice that the further the price is going down, the more people are fighting and arguing, and the more trolling is going on the platform?
But in a way, that's a good thing because it shows that people are still really invested. I mean, I can't believe how many people post things saying, "Oh, I'm leaving. I'm never coming back," and then like the next day they post stuff. It's super funny, and this is just because people care a lot. My thing is like, if it's bad, people leave. If people say they leave, but they're still around, then it's not bad. Then it's not bad. It's actually just going through something. And either people will leave and it'll go through another phase of regrouping and then come up again, or people will start to figure out their own way individually on here?
First
Good
again,
answer.
I guess the same question goes to you now. I totally forgot it. What was that question, Beans?
The question is, how do you think we can rebuild the community? First
Ah.
again.
The community is fine. I don't know, maybe some people in the tops are having some problems growing down as the price is going down, but the people I have been focused on and those that follow my blog knows that I am supporting the user growth really seriously, and in the bottom of Steemit where the new users are coming in and we are following them up with many measures. There is no problem in that community. They are happy people, and I guess people that bought in high and had very short-term thinking, well, they are sad and they have sold at a loss.
Okay,
But
two interesting things there. First, you say that the community is fine, but you come from SteamSpeak where you have a community of your own there, and everybody there is quite happy because you're all a community not separate from Steam but sort of within Steam. So I'm talking about the wider community of people who are not necessarily aware of SteamSpeak and the things that go on the platform, who aren't coming into SteamSpeak or your own community. But also, you just said that the people who invested high and have lost a lot of money, they might be acting out because of what they lost. But what I found interesting about one of the posts recently about how much people actually invested in the platform is that a lot of the names at the top investors, as in the highest amount of money that people put in, I didn't even recognize some of the names because they're not people who act out and have been getting frustrated about the price at all. I haven't noticed it from those people at all. It's the people that you do notice it from are not even in the top 100.
I tend to notice that the most frustration among Steam stakeholders are the people who have had a stake for a while and did not power it down as much as they could have.
Right.
So they didn't
in other
capitalize.
words, if you put money in the beginning, you accept that you're going to get a loss. But if you make money from it and then end up losing just from not selling out in time, it's actually somehow worse, or it's just it's just an emotional reaction or something.
Yeah, I think it's down to the psychology, like regret, maybe. So that's just what I noticed. Although Leone in particular was one of the people that powered up at the top, and he powered up quite a lot for what he spent. And he hasn't acted out exactly. He's been relatively quiet about it, but he definitely is regretful from what I've talked to him about it. But he kind of, as best he can, takes it in stride and doesn't. Well, at least maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe he does in Chinese, but at least English. At least in English, he's kept his cool.
I like that. Maybe not in Chinese. I'm going to switch gears for a second. I want to try something. And I want to ask everyone here a question now. Bitcoin, Dan, First Again, Colonel, P-Funk. Do you guys think that Ned and Dan communicate with the community enough?
That one's for me, it's yes and no. They do kind of, we've popped in and heard them jump in like on SteamSeek, Ned and stuff like that. But, it's not really necessary for them to do that essentially, because that's how the system is built. We don't really need to rely on hearing from them,
Well, why should it not work that way, in your opinion? Why should we be independent?
Well, that's what the whole concept of decentralization is, right?
That's true. Dan, how do you feel?
I don't think they need to. I mean, they can if they want. I think they're doing a lot. Like, I think most people don't realize how much they're actually doing. And I don't think that they have too much time to get involved in like the community the way, I mean, we think about everybody else who's using the community. That is kind of like one of their main things that they do. I mean, they're not like working on optimizing blockchains and running tests and all this other kind of stuff and hiring people and everything. So I personally would love to hear more from them, and I think everybody does, but like objectively I don't think that they need to do any more than they're doing.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, I agree with Bitcoin in that if we're a decentralized system, then we should be independent. We shouldn't need to hear from them. But then, as Dan says, we're still pretty centralized in some sense. And so when I think about it, since Steemit Inc. has such a high portion and we're all stakeholders, people want to know where they stand with the platform and what's actually going on, and what direction it's actually going to go in the long run. You know what I mean? So I mean, I think that yeah, it's maybe they don't need to, but when there's so much conflict within the community, it kind of feels like we're in the dark a little bit sometimes.
Agreed.
Well, first of all, we are in a situation where we're on a platform which has the potential to be very, very decentralized way down the future. It is sort of decentralized right now, but I mean, the power is still very centralized on one sense. And just with Steem Inc. and obviously the major stakeholders, the whales. The thing about this, like any system that is decentralized, is it generally starts out centralized. Maybe it always does. I don't know, but it usually goes from centralized to decentralized. And we're still at very early stages of that.
Versican, what are your opinions and thoughts on it?
Well, Ned and Dan has been excellent at communicating. If you wonder what they said, you know, you can always go back and read the latest blog posts and the latest fork updates, and you can go to their profiles and read their comments and just refresh your memory. They have a roadmap that needs to be done with a deadline on. VOTU, which is a major undertaking, has a deadline this summer where they need to start delivering. They have a deadline. Overskriding deadlines cost money. I don't want Ned and Dan to over-communicate with this platform. And also to answer Beans on the question about the decentralized and their stake in the platform, I do not think that they established Steem Inc. in the United States of America if they were planning on leaving the platform. I think that they have created the perfect company and will be sitting on the majority stake for a long time. And the only thing that is decentralized in this case is the network.
Well, they have talked about decentralizing the Steem account in the roadmap, haven't they?
That only means that they will split the tokens on several accounts that is still under their own ownership. Doesn't mean that they're going to sell it to other people.
Well, glad we cleared that up. Thank you for that knowledge. With that being said, you guys prepare for a 1 minute why people should vote for you, right? So if anyone's
You guys never
listening
got for the question.
Wait, we didn't get to who? You said you?
Yeah, I said me.
Oh yeah, this fucking guy. Look, just because he's like high on the fucking list. Fine, P-Funk. What do you think about the question?
All right, the question is, do you think Dan and Ned are communicating enough with the community?
Wow, you're a fucking host too, P-Funk? Great. So you're a fucking host and you're a fucking witness. Go ahead, P-Funk.
Well, as other people indicated, you know, it is their prerogative to communicate at their leisure for the most part. I mean, you know, obviously they're going to have to talk to people on Steem once in a while. Whether or not they could do more, I think Dan and Ned do communicate with the community at large to sort of an appropriate degree. And there is such thing as communicating too much and not doing other things that might be more valuable. In particular, with Dan's communication with the witnesses, Dan hasn't really been interacting with the witnesses in a real-time chat sense since basically July. And I thought, being there before July, I thought that communicating with him in a real-time sense in chat was pretty helpful in really getting the technical community together and providing feedback and having interactions with, you know, the leader of the pack. And it's been, you know, he still has got his ears open, but there's less interaction there.
Now, with that being said, I love everyone. Thank you everyone for showing up. Let's make Steem great again, not the Trump way, but, you know, our way. You heard the witnesses. They're all wonderful. I'd encourage anyone and everyone listening to get out there and vote for a witness. Now, if you don't know how to vote, Colonel, can you just tell people what they need to do to vote or how they can vote?
Steamer.com, go to the top right or not the main menu, but the little hidden menu. You go there, a black sidebar opens up. You go down to witnesses. It'll open up a new page. Then you have the list of the top 50. You can click on the upvote arrow, or at the bottom, there's a little empty text field where you can put in someone's name, then click vote, and there's your vote done.
Or if you want to just do it simple, just type in Versican as proxy and you'll vote for 30 witnesses, the best of the best, P-Funk and Colonel. And yeah, great guys.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Cool. Thank you for
you could do that. So there you guys have it. You can proxy, or you can go in and do like Colonel said. Thank you everyone for showing up. It was great. I love the discussion. It's going to be so dope. Have a wonderful day. Much love.
And see you on Steem Up.